Lakewood Ranch, best home buyer opportunities at the end of 2025, moving into 2026. What's going on in the market right now? I've got some stats that I'm going to go over with you and go over the best opportunities, whether you're looking for a new construction home, a resale home, if you're looking to be here soon or later on towards the end of 2026 or whenever that may be. But let's see where the best deals are right now in this market and tell you everything you need to know about what's going on the ground here in Lakewood Ranch. So let's start with some market stats before we go any further and talk about where you should be buying right now. If you look at the most recent stats that came out, there was actually yesterday, and that is for August. So all of August stats have just been released. We're always a few weeks behind the most recent stats, but you can see that the average sales price right now in Manatee County and Sarasota is $634,000, and that is 95% of the list price. So you can see that the percentage list to sell right now is 95%. But what's most interesting is you can see that we have the most amount of days on the market than we've had in the last 4 or 5 years. 101 days it is now averaging for people to get their homes sold. So it's taken a lot longer for these homes to sell. And I'm going to show you 3 resale homes further into the video when we talk on resale homes. 3 listings that I've had this year that I've really struggled to sell, but luckily now they're all sold. But yeah, I'll give you some examples of how those went. But yes, 101 days is the average, which is really, really high. And you can see, however, that inventory has come down. We are now at 7,795 homes is what's out there on the market right now, but that's actually come down month on month for the last 5 months. At the start of this year, you can see we're just over 9,000 homes on the market, and that went up and up and up. And then what happened is really the market started to die down, and sellers, I have to say, sellers are realizing that they're not going to get what they want for their homes in this market. And my wife and I, Carolyn, we've had many meetings and appointments with sellers this year that want to sell their homes, but we've either said to them, don't sell right now because you're never going to get the number that you're telling us you want for your home, or you're going to have to list for significantly less. Many of them have held off, and then some of them have listened to us and they've eventually sold, but it's been for a big drop in what they were looking for originally. So we'll go over some of our listings further on in this video, but just looking at these market stats, you can see that inventory has really peaked in around April or May, and month on month it's come down. So we are starting to come down as sellers realize they're not going to get what they were initially hoping for. So let's move on to the best opportunities right now, guys, and we're going to start with new construction homes. And overwhelmingly, the best deals I have seen by a mile out there right now are for new construction, quick move-in homes. Every single builder out there, even outside of Lakewood Ranch, in Parish, Sarasota, Bradenton, but definitely here in Lakewood Ranch, every builder has inventory and they're struggling to sell these homes. And I've seen some really aggressive discounts. And what's even better on top of that, not only are they really reducing the price of those homes, but they're offering some amazing interest rates, and they're dropping them. What I've seen is a lot of like 1.99% interest rates. 3%, 4%, depending on the builder, but they're only wrapped into quick move-in homes. They cannot do that for a custom to be built home. It is only for quick move-in homes because they don't know what interest rates are going to be further down the line. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to put my shades on because it's a bit bright. But yes, we've seen some unbelievable interest rate reductions, and a lot of those interest rates are 7-year ARMs, which is an adjustable rate mortgage. However, if I had that opportunity, guys, I would have snapped their hands off for a 7-year loan at a lower rate. You have to realize that the average amount of time for a Florida homeowner to sell their home again is like around in between 6 and 7 years. So the likelihood is, if you bought a home in this market, you're probably not going to be in there in 7 years when you'd have to refinance. or or you could always refinance if you wanted to stay there beyond that. But I would absolutely be taking them up on these 7-year ARMs at the moment. Again, you'd always want a fixed rate, but if the fixed rate is a lot higher and it's in the 5 to 6 range, but you can get an adjustable rate mortgage, which the first year is like 2%, and then it goes to 3%, and then it's 4%. Go for it. Absolutely go for it. I would, at least. But anyway, quick moving homes. Yes, guys, we've seen some really, really good deals lately. In fact, I just did the hot home of the month that I'm doing right now, and I just did it on Sweetwater, where they've got a few quick moving homes. They've got some unbelievable villas there, but they've also got some single family homes. But you will definitely see quick moving homes in every single one of these communities that I will go over in a second. Lakewood really is broken up here between the northern section, the northeast section, where you've got Palm Grove, you've got Star Farms, Del Webb, Calusa, and Azario, and then you've got the southern section, which is off University, like Waterside, and you've got the Isles and Wild Blue, Wynwood. It's kind of broken up between north and south, but definitely, guys, we are seeing some unbelievable deals with quick moving homes. Now, if you do want to build, the one community I've had really good success with is Palm Grove, right at the top of the tree in Lakewood Ranch. Neil Communities are really fighting for their buyers there. We've had a couple of closings there this year where they've really gone above and beyond, and they will give you a great deal if you're looking to build a home. Now, don't get me wrong, there are others, but somewhere like Calusa Country Club with Lennar, everything is either a quick move-in, or the home has already been predetermined of what floor plan is going on what lot, so you don't have as much customization. But what I love about Calusa is that they are saying, bring us an offer. It's those magic words where they're like, bring us an offer. If they say bring us an offer, guys, we're absolutely going to be making a very low offer, because you really want to hear no before they go to yes, because then you haven't left any money on the table, right? But yes, if you are looking to build, Del Webb at Catalina, they have some really good deals on at the moment if you're looking for a 55 plus community. Sweetwater and Lorraine Lakes are pretty much finishing up now. They only have their quick move-in homes available. There's very, very few options to build. I did just help a couple build a home in there for 2026 recently. Got a great deal. You will get a great deal in these, with these communities to build a home, but it's not going to be an absolutely outstanding deal. So realize there is a lot of flexibility. They will move with you on closing costs, on design center credits, on bringing the price down as much as they can. But a quick move-in home, guys, they're really going to town. So yes, Lorraine Lakes and Sweetwater are really coming to a head now. Esplanade at Azario has some great opportunities still. You can still build on the golf course there. They've got some awesome little cottages if you're looking for an investment home, and of course Star Farms, which is DR Horton, West Bay, and you've got the custom builders there like Arthur Ruttenberg and Lee Wetherington, and of course now Perry Homes. And I did recently do my video on Perry Homes that are coming to Star Farms, and I think they're going to be a real welcome addition to Star Farms, and they're going to be in Saddlestone as well. Guys, I like the look of Saddlestone. They're going to have West Bay, DR Horton and Perry Homes. That's who we know is going in there for now. My only slight concern is that it's very close to the racetrack, and it will be loud. Even where I am, further west in Lakewood Ranch at Park East, my dog just hates it when they're racing on that racetrack, because he's triggered by fireworks and loud noises. So even for us further west and even further away from that racetrack, you can hear it. So like I said, if you're looking to build a home in this northeast section of Lakewood Ranch, I really recommend looking at Palm Grove, Calusa and Sweetwater, as well as Star Farms and Saddlestone. And if you're looking for a golf course community, probably priced a bit higher and more maintenance free and a more resort style lifestyle, then you're definitely going to still want to consider Azario, Esplanade Azario. Now further south, off this University Parkway area, of course, Waterside is finishing up. They don't have much left there really, but you've still got Wynwood there that you can build, and then you've got Wild Blue and you've got the Isles. prices are just higher down here. It's a bit of a different lifestyle down further south. I would say the demographics a little bit older. There aren't as many schools around for the time being. The schools are more further up where we are in this northeast section, but it's got so many restaurants and bars and everything around there. It's really the life and soul of Lakewood. But yes, there are options there to build as well, of course. Like I said, Wild Blue, you've got Wynwood, you've got Bungalow Walk there, the Isles, and then you've got Waterbury Park by Neil's Signature. It's a lovely little pocket community. And then we've got some others that are coming very soon, like Stillwater, which is just south of State Road 70. So yes, guys, if you're looking for a new construction home, like I said, take advantage of the quick moving homes. Of course, if you want to be here further out, just realize you're going to pay 10 to 15% more probably just by customizing everything that you're looking for, and you're not going to be able to get as great of a deal. But anyway, let's move on to the resale market, because as I said, interest rates have been slowing things up in the resale market. It's just been tough, as a listing agent. We've listed over 20 homes this year, 19 homes we've listed for sale this year as listing agents, and that's one of the highest that we've had actually. We predominantly have always worked with buyers, but we've had more sellers this year, and it's tough, guys. If you're after a resale home, you have got to be tapping in and taking advantage of that seller fatigue, because that fatigue is very real, guys. Sellers are over it. There's a lot of picky buyers coming through the door that aren't making offers, that are really not moving forward over the most minutiae little things. So if you are in the resale space, again, go in with an aggressive offer. The amount of days on the market is critical here. If you're trying to get an amazing deal with a home that's just hit the market versus one that's been sat on the market for like 50, 60 days plus, you're going to see a big response, big difference in response from the sellers. So I will always recommend a more aggressive offer the more days that are on the market. Homes are still selling, don't get me wrong. Most of these sellers are still selling their homes, but it's taking longer and longer. And I promise you, most sellers are getting probably 20% less than they initially thought they were going to get for the home. I'll just go over 3 examples with you this year. So first of all, next door in Esplanada, Azario, we had this home on for $2 million. And my God, we had so many showings, guys. But everyone was complaining about it being north facing. Like I literally thought I was being punked, because people would get out their phones and their compass and they'd be like, oh, it's not going to get as much sun. And we had to send a bunch of people pictures of the pool, and with sun on it, just to show people that it did get sun. Again, guys, in a really hot market, no one would mention a thing. In a cooler market, people mention this stuff. So yes, we ended up selling this home for $1.75 million, which was $250,000 less than I recommended. So, yes, the market went down and down in that time. We went from homes probably, a year ago that probably would have got close to 2 million. Now it's, it probably could have sold for in the 1.8 range, but it was a cash offer. It could close within 2 weeks. And honestly, we had so many verbal offers. It was driving us insane. Verbal offers they never hold much credibility and weight, but we'd have people call us up and say, would you take 1.75 for it? Would you take 1.8? And we'd say, write it up, show us your proof of funds, show us that you are approved, and we'll see what we can do, because our sellers were super reasonable. And then the offer would never come. So it was like a lack of motivation. So yeah, that one was a little bit disappointed, but the sellers just knew that the market wasn't great. And I said to them, look, it's a seasonal community. We were outside of the golf season. We're coming into the golf season and the snowbird season now. So they probably would have got more for it if they'd have hung on a month or two and looked, and sold in October or November, and we could have brought it down into the 1.8 range to kind of really just create some sort of fear of missing out. But they were really agreeable and moved on. We'd help them buy another home, and they were just ready and emotionally checked out. So yeah, Listed for 2 million, sold at 1.75. And then this home up in Wesley Chapel was difficult because they're still building in the community. We listed at 745 and the sellers moved after 4 months. They moved back to Virginia and they wanted to be closer to friends and family. Moved in after 4 months and then moved back up to Virginia. Something we would never recommend, but it was very exceptional circumstances. And after, I think it was 200 and something days, 240 days, we sold for 625. And sorry guys, just to back up, going back to the home over at Azario, that was on for 182 days. Long amount of time. Trust me, sellers are over it by that time. But yes, this one was 240 days. And I said to them, if they had have held out for another 7 or 8 days, they would have been our longest sale ever. So they were disappointed to miss out on that accolade, but not really. And then the third house that we really struggled with, this house had been on for 621 days in Twin Rivers in Parish. Beautiful lot. It's on 1.4 acres. Slightly quirky floor plan, I would say. A lot of people wanted more space downstairs rather than upstairs. But yes, this one was on for 621 days, just 119 with us, but it was on with 2 other agents before us. Accumulatively, it was 621 days. So yes, they're off to Arizona. They're very, very happy to finally be moving. But that one was a struggle. Listed it at 850 and we sold at 750. So that wasn't as, you know, percentage wise, that probably wasn't as, I haven't worked out my percentages, but it's still 100,000 less than they were hoping for. So yes, don't take any pleasure in that, guys. You know, our job as the listing agent is always to try and get the most amount of money possible for our sellers. But in a more of a buyer's market like this, you know, it's incredible seeing the opportunity right now. So if you're in a position to move forward, I would really think about your time frame, because your time frame is going to determine so much. There are certain things that I always recommend that you don't compromise on. One of them is the lot, of course. You know, the interior design with the home, you can do something about further on, but there are certain structural items and the lot especially and the right community are things that I would never concede on. So those things are the most important. But yes, you might get a much better deal with a quick move in home, even if it's a few months sooner than when you initially wanted to be here. So something to think about. And that's about it from me, guys, for today. Not much else to really go over. Just wanted to show you where I'm really seeing the deals right now and the opportunities. And if you've had your eye on the market right now, I really recommend looking towards the end of this year if you can, because a lot of these builders have their end of fiscal year at the end of November or at the end of December. They'll have many targets they're trying to meet, and I promise you there'll be bonuses on hand. There are some realtor bonuses going on right now where we get compensated more if you buy a home towards the end of the year. I will always pass them on to you, especially because we have to sign an agreement now for a fixed commission, and that always comes from the seller, which is the builder in this instance. It's very few times that they're not paying, especially in this market right now. So we can pass those extra incentives on to you. But you know, if you are more picky, you're probably going to want to build. And you know, if you are still thinking that a resale home is going to be better for you than new construction, I haven't been that wowed by a lot of the resale homes that I've seen. A lot of them I've been through and showing homes, most of the buyers have opted for a new construction home. They're either still a little bit ambitious, or, you know, I feel like there's better value with new construction, especially at the moment. At the start of this year, I was like, go to the resale market. There's a lot better value. I feel like that has swung back in favor of the builders. And I feel like the builders have really come out, especially as they're competing with interest rates. So yes, that is me for today, guys. That's all I have for you. I don't want to make this video too long. But yeah, if you've got any questions whatsoever or comments, please leave them below and reach out. I'm more than happy to help. I can show you new construction homes and resale homes and see what you think. I'm not saying rule out the resale market by any means, but yeah, there's some great competition in that new construction space right now. So please like this video, guys, if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel, and follow me if you're looking for more content on the west coast of Florida, all things real estate related. Take care.